There are also posters which are being raised in Nagpur calling Devendra Fadnavis Maharashtra's Chanakya. We're crossing over to CNN News 18's Yasha Kotak to get us more on these two breaking developments. Yasha, let's just talk about the first one, about the banners put up by MNS leader Lakshman Patil. Essentially, it asks Uddhav and Raj Thackeray to come together.
Yes, the banners that have been put out have actually come out very close to the Shiv Sena Bhavan. Now here he's requesting both Uddhav and Raj Thackeray to come together. In fact, he also mentioned that amidst the political turmoil in Maharashtra, the only option that they have is if Uddhav and Raj Thackeray come together. Now this is something that's come out in near Shiv Sena Bhavan, and this is amidst the fact that Uddhav Thackeray has as of now not really spoken about the coup in NCP. But yesterday when Sharad Pawar was addressing the media, he said that he had a word with Uddhav Thackeray. In fact, even Sanjay Raut ended up saying that he has spoken to Sharad Pawar. As of now, the Shiv Sena, which is a major coalition with was in a coalition with NCP, they formed the government here. There's only Sanjay Raut who's spoken about it. Of course, we saw Arvind Sawant, the MP from Shiv Sena, also speak about it. But Uddhav Thackeray himself has not really commented on this. Though Aditya Thackeray put out a tweet questioning the stance taken by Ajit Pawar. So amidst all of this, while we see that Uddhav Thackeray has not spoken about it, which is where these posters have come out, and they're requesting the two of them to come together. But this is also amidst the fact that let's understand that Shiv Sena themselves had a faction moving out from them and going towards Eknath Shinde. Now this is something that we're seeing is has been looked in political circles as, like you rightly mentioned, something that orchestrated by Devendra Fadnavis, which is where we see that these posters have also come out at Nagpur calling Devendra Fadnavis the Chanakya of Maharashtra. Now, to understand the larger context, there were constantly these messages, these videos wherein it was Devendra Fadnavis who had said that he'd come back again, and that he's come back with Ajit Pawar the second time. This is not the first time that Ajit Pawar had taken oath as the deputy CM. This was third time in 5 years that Ajit Pawar was taking oath as a deputy CM, and second time with Devendra Fadnavis, which is where now it's being seen as something that's been orchestrated by Devendra Fadnavis. Because it's a well-known thing in political circle about the proximity that Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar share, the camaraderie they share despite the political lines that they work towards. So which is where these posters which have come out are stark indication, one of the stands taken by Shiv Sena, the other of that by BJP. And of course the posters that have come out in support of Devendra Fadnavis are from his hometown at Nagpur, a place from where Devendra Fadnavis has grown up and came out as a strong political leader, which is where we see that these posters have come out clearly in support of Devendra Fadnavis. Of course, when the oath taking had taken place last year with Eknath Shinde, everyone was expecting that it would be Devendra Fadnavis who would be appointed as the chief minister and Eknath Shinde would be the deputy chief minister. However, considering that the party decision taken then was asking Devendra Fadnavis to become the deputy chief minister, and he as a party worker had abided by it. In fact, then when this information was clearly out, it was clearly propagated then that Devendra Fadnavis simply followed the party lines as is by BJP without raising any question, though he was upset about the decision taken by the party. But now we see that apart from Devendra Fadnavis, there has been Ajit Pawar also, who's been appointed as deputy CM. Of course, questions are raised here as well about Ajit Pawar being deputy to Eknath Shinde, who as a political stature is much younger to him. Now the dynamics here would in fact reveal as to what stands, where would Maharashtra politics really head to, because there'd be Eknath Shinde who's leading as chief minister. On the other hand, we have Devendra Fadnavis, who of course has much more political experience than Eknath Shinde of leading a position, because he'd been a CM earlier, and Ajit Pawar, who was aspiring to have a key position, taking over deputy CM's position. Here there are various such stands which in fact need to be understood, and these dynamics would in fact further impact the triple engine government as was being called by Eknath Shinde himself yesterday. Yes.
Now, could you also explain why it's so important for either side of the factions to have the numbers that they need? Why is it so important when it comes to the Anti-Defection Act particularly?
So here, in fact, Anti-Defection Act was in fact being spoken about earlier as well, a year back, when we saw this coup taking place in Shiv Sena. Even now, while the number games, as Ajit Pawar claims, is in favor, but as of now, considering that there are no clear-cut figures, none of the parties have clearly gone ahead and mentioned as to who has the numbers. We've seen that there have been clearly around 9 MLAs, including Ajit Pawar, who are with Ajit Pawar. But on the other hand, when you see support for Sharad Pawar on ground, even when he was leaving from his residence, there's massive support from him for him on ground. But when it comes to the number games, if there's a floor test with the NCP name, what really happens is that with the NCP name being with Sharad Pawar being the party president, this was something that was also spoken about in the Supreme Court order as well, just a few months back in the Shiv Sena case. Here, this was a clear case of anti-defection, as was being mentioned about, because the whip was that of Uddhav Thackeray as well, and this was something that even Supreme Court in fact further went and agreed to, that the whip was clearly with the Uddhav Thackeray faction. So here, with the whip being with Uddhav Thackeray faction, though the questions were raised as to why did Uddhav Thackeray step down as chief minister. If he would have stayed, there was a possibility that his government could be reinstated. Here, with the number game, if the number game goes in the favor of Ajit Pawar, considering he's saying that he would be called as the NCP party, but on the other hand, as a precautionary measure, so that there's no anti-defection that can take place, and the case clearly goes in the favor of NCP. We saw that Jitendra Awhad had reached out to the speaker as well. He in fact wrote a letter to Election Commission reinstating that it is with Sharad Pawar that the party lays with them and the leader of opposition. Though right now, as for the number games, as is being claimed by Ajit Pawar, the largest single party in opposition right now is Congress, but we've seen that NCP has clearly laid out that the leader of opposition right now is from NCP, which is Jitendra Awhad. So here, there are grounds being laid. There's groundwork which is being done, a solid groundwork, so that if any kind of a legal action that takes place after this, it goes in their favor, because while these MLAs have moved out of NCP, while they are sitting MLAs, it goes as a defection from the existing party. But the previous Shiv Sena order of Supreme Court, in fact, threw light as to how, while there being a whip, while there was already there was a leader from the party, with the number game going in the favor of Eknath Shinde, the court case went in his favor, which is why, in order to avoid any kind of such repercussion later on, we're seeing that NCP is laying out solid groundwork. NCP with Sharad Pawar is laying out a very solid groundwork, and going further, that's why they've approached the Election Commission and also the Speaker of the Assembly.